Welcome, public writing students. My name is Catherine Malloy. First, let me apologize for the very unusual circumstances today. I am out of town for today and Wednesday's classes, and I have arranged, of course, for substitutes for both of these class days as they are our very first days of class this semester. So, today, as you already know, Jennifer Lee, the Assistant Director of the University of Rhode Island Writing Center, and an instructor in writing and rhetoric, is substituting for me. And so she will be taking you onto our Sakai site to make sure that everyone at minimum can grab a copy of the syllabus and read through it. I do not make paper copies of syllabi in order to conserve paper, and I find that more and more students prefer to only have an electronic copy, but for those students who really do wish to have a paper copy, please do log on to Sakai. On the left-hand column, you'll see the syllabus link. When you click on that link, you will see a Microsoft Office Word document, and that can be opened on any campus computer, and then you can print it out. You could also visit the production lab on the third floor of Roosevelt Hall, as our course is a lab fees course, and you are permitted to print out documents related to our course in that production lab. So, some issues I wanted to discuss today. First, let me say how very excited I am to be teaching this public writing course and to have the opportunity to work with each of you this semester. I'm looking forward to all of the interesting reading we're going to do, all of the really lively discussions I hope we'll have, and all of the really great and important writing you're going to do and analyze this semester. So, let me start with some thoughts on what public writing might be. And you'll find that this actually is the first major project that we are going to do this semester, where you will write an essay in which you will define public writing in terms of your emerging knowledge of what that is. And so we will do a lot of reading in our textbook, but also we will turn each other onto certain other everyday acts of public writing as these definitions sort of evolve and culminate in thesis-driven essays toward the end of Project 1. So, a note about the textbook. Our textbook is actually written by a retired professor from the University of Rhode Island in writing and rhetoric. Her name is Linda Shamoon. She actually also developed the original syllabus on which I based our course syllabus and assignment sequence. So you will find her book to be accessible, exciting, and to have some very interesting examples. Unfortunately, it is still not published, which is why you will obtain your copy through the Memorial Union bookstore or campus copy in the form of a course packet. She has generously offered to allow us to use her book, even though it has not been published yet. And so when you leave class today, it might be a good idea, if you haven't already done so, to stop by the bookstore and grab your copy of the book in the form of a course packet. You will see, once you have a chance to read through the syllabus and the schedule, that there is reading that is due for Friday and there's an assignment that's due for Friday. All of your homework assignments are going to be submitted on the Sakai site, and I will grade them there, as well as I'll grade your major assignments there. So when you log on to our Sakai site, also in the left-hand column, you'll see a link that says Assignments. And you'll notice that as of today at 11 a.m., your assignment, Project 1 assignment, is already up. It tells you how many points it's worth, which is also, of course, noted on the course syllabus. That first assignment is going to be worth 5% of your final grade. And you will also see that as of today, your homework assignment for Friday is already posted. Additionally, on Wednesday when you come to class, Joanna Portman-Daly, who is another instructor in the Department of Writing and Rhetoric, and who also is the director of the Writing and Rhetoric Production Lab, will be coming in, and she will put on a documentary film for you all to screen. I ask that when she does this, and it will take up the entire 15 minutes of class, that you please take notes. You'll notice on the forum that I've already added a topic there that says documentary film discussion, and this is where I want you to write up whatever comes to mind when you screen that film. In particular, you'll see that on the forum what I'm asking you to comment on is what you think this documentary does or does not have to do with public writing as you understand it from the brief thoughts I'll give you on it today, as well as on that first chapter of the book. So, some interesting things to say about the syllabus as well. You'll notice some very predictable items on this syllabus that you probably have seen on a number of other syllabi in writing and rhetoric at URI. And perhaps syllabi in general. You'll see my name there. You'll see my contact information. You'll see the days and times of our class meetings as well as the location, which if you're here today, you've already found, but I think it's helpful to have that on the syllabus as well. What's also there is my office hours, which this semester are going to be on Fridays between the hours of 12 noon and 2 p.m. During those hours, I will be available in the graduate student office on the 3rd floor of Roosevelt Hall in person. And I will also be available on our Sakai site in the chat room. So if you log on to the Sakai site and you want to talk with me in real time about a draft you're working on, about a homework assignment you're trying to figure out, about a reading that's giving you some trouble, you can either come see me in person. I would be very happy to see you there. Or if you happen not to be on campus that day at that time and you wish to ask me something, then you can always go onto Sakai. In that left-hand column, select chat room. You'll see my name already in there, and you can ask me the question that you have. So 2 ways to meet with me outside of class time. Let me also say that on the syllabus, I do say that I am willing to meet with people by appointment. This is a real offer. I'm on campus a lot. I'm always happy to talk with students about their work or their confusion or to talk through ideas with them between projects. So do take me up on that. If you write me a message or just hang out after class, I will talk with you about a time that will work for both of us and we can meet somewhere on campus. Or we can arrange an electronic meeting at a time that is not during those office hours. Under that contact information and office hours, you're going to see a little bit of information about what public writing is. And once you get your hands on the textbook and read that first chapter, you're going to have a much clearer sense of what this course takes to be within the purview of public writing. You'll see it says something like, public writing has to do with everyday citizens, activist groups, professionals, and amateurs alike, engaging in writing with real rhetorical aims at their ends, right? They want to make a certain specific change in their community, and they follow at times a sequence of writing activities that culminate in that change that they've wanted to see. And so you'll notice, for instance, that in that first chapter of the textbook, there's a case written out. It's about a composer who was living in New York City and was home during the day writing music. However, he happened to be in a neighborhood where a number of other residents had cars that they would leave parked on the streets during the day, and then they would take a subway or a taxi or go on foot to their various places of employment, leaving their vehicles there. And inevitably, pedestrians or bicyclists or other motorists would come close enough to those vehicles that they would set off the car alarms. Now, in the absence of the car's owners for hours and hours, what the composer would find was that his work was completely disrupted by this. And he thought about the possibility of other people in his area also finding trouble with these car alarms and the disruptive nature of these. And so he began a series of writing acts, which are described in the chapter, aimed toward coming up with a new policy for car alarms in that area. And so it's a fascinating case. It's very well chosen, and you will learn more about that. And I think it illustrates pretty well how what public writing is when ordinary citizens at times notice the need for specific changes because perhaps of their own interests or interests they perceive to be very important to their community, and they begin a chain of activities to, say, gain awareness for a problem, to posit solutions, to gain an audience who might be able to do something about these issues, that kind of thing. And so we are also in the midst, in terms of public writing, of a really interesting time where, all over the world, ordinary citizens have used writing acts, particularly in electronic environments, to initiate action toward change. So you might have noticed that Time magazine, for its Person of the Year, chose this year the protester. And, the writers go through the various descriptions of these individuals who were ordinary citizens who decided that they wanted to make a change. And they describe in this issue of Time magazine that I will bring to class on Friday to show you all, the writing acts in which they engaged to, for example, assemble something like Occupy Providence. And so I have a special thread devoted to that, which I'll talk about when I get to our Sakai forum. So, the syllabus. So back to the syllabus. So there is that description, and it goes through what you will find in this public writing course. And obviously, as the semester goes on, there are going to be some very much more specific things that I'll say about public writing that you will want to say about public writing, particularly in this early phase, where we're really just trying to define it for ourselves, right, in this essay number 1. And so, the unusual thing about this particular course syllabus is it does go through policies and procedures and some issues that are to do with the writing and rhetoric department in general. What it doesn't do is then break into a day-by-day schedule. Instead, it follows the projects quite carefully. And so what you'll find is that each project is described very briefly with important due dates noted. Afterwards, there is a much fuller schedule of each project, including individual homework assignments that are due within the time frame in which we're working on each project, and due dates of drafts, due dates of final submissions, and that kind of thing. These due dates, of course, will also appear on the Sakai site on the calendar, as will individual homework assignments appear in assignments on Sakai. So more about that when we get to Sakai. And so you'll see that the syllabus is designed not to show you sort of what we do in each class session as much as to show you the entire sequence or cycle of work that happens in each project and how day-to-day class meetings play into that project. Let me make a special note here about the project. So projects 1 through 4 are all chronologically arranged on the syllabus. So for example, as of today at 11 a.m. on our Sakai site under assignments, project 1 is officially assigned. There will be a number of homework assignments, and they are posted, but they are posted in a way where they become visible to students only when they are assigned. So you'll see that today the assignment for Friday will appear as a homework assignment. These will continue to emerge until you've completed all the homework assignments that go along with Project 1 and that inform our work in class. And then you'll submit your final draft after peer review on your assignment. Project 5 is slightly different. Project 5 is asking you to do a case study on a local advocacy group, for example, and it's asking you to do a number of field-based research activities in order to culminate in a final product at the end of the semester. And so these dates, the due dates for Project 5 span the entire term. And so I will be saying more about that on Friday when I come into class. But I'm making note of it now for you so that you can be aware. Now, in terms of the homework assignments only appearing on Sakai on the day that they're assigned, which is usually only a couple days before they're due. That might feel concerning at first, so let me say just to put your mind at ease. In each project assignment, I have included descriptions of each homework assignment and their due dates that go along with those projects. I've also copied that information onto the syllabus. And so if you are the kind of student, which I am this kind of student, so I can have an appreciation for it, that would like to try to get all of the homework assignments for 1 week done over the weekend. It will be possible for you to do that and to go on to Sakai when the assignment becomes available and submit your response. Project assignments are going to be submitted on the Sakai site as Microsoft Word documents. The reason I ask you to submit major projects to me only as Microsoft Word documents is because I use Microsoft Word's track changes and commenting function to give you copious feedback on those major projects. However, for homework assignments, I'm asking you to only submit them in line. Now, I have our Sakai site set to only take attachments for major projects and to only take inline submissions for homework. Let me say to all of you, I really am interested in everyone sending me only Word documents for the projects. Now, campus computers have Microsoft Word. I know some people don't have it on their computer, and I completely sympathize with that. However, if I get your project and it's on time, and my computer won't open it because it's not a Word document, or I have to fumble around to find the program to open it, it will slow down everyone's the grading of everyone's project. And so it's a small step that I ask you to take on my behalf because it makes life easier, and also for your classmates so that they get their graded work back sooner. And so I do all grading electronically. This is not only to save paper. I happen to be a person with excessively bad handwriting, and so in the past, when I had graded with a pencil or a pen, I think that especially for shyer students, they would be reluctant to tell me that they did not know what, for example, a marginal note said or what an endnote said. This way it is very unambiguous. Everyone will have access to typed out feedback on their projects. It also is helpful because I then save a copy of your graded paper on my hard drive, and so at the end of the semester no one needs to worry about not being able to find their projects when it comes time to make revisions for your final portfolio. So it works out very well for everyone. And so the gradebook on Sakai is the one that I keep. Know that I also keep a copy on an Excel spreadsheet, and so I keep 2 different copies of your individual course grade. Also, you'll see I weight class participation quite heavily, which is why, on the one hand, I take notes after classes often for my own use, where I make note of special contributions that certain individuals have made to our class. And so the other thing about class participation is you could also choose, if you are particularly shy, to participate extra on the forum instead, which also counts. And so know that for yourself, that if you are someone who does not really like talking in front of the class, that there will be some alternatives built in, and it's a benefit of having a Sakai course for an in-person class. And so, Project 1, take a look. It's on the Sakai site. Again, it's a definition essay. It's asking you to define public writing in a thesis-driven essay. Also, get your hands on that course packet because it will make a world of difference as you attempt to figure out what this course is going to be about, what this first project is asking you for, what your homework assignment on Friday is asking you for. And so let me talk a little bit more about the Sakai site. I have an expectation that students will, from time to time, post on the forum. For example, after a class today, I'm asking everyone, since I won't have the benefit of being able to have you introduce yourself to me in person today on the first day of classes, I'm asking everyone to go on to Sakai. Once you log on to Sakai, you are automatically enrolled in our Sakai site if you are enrolled in the course. On the left-hand side, you'll see forums. If you click on that link, you're going to see a topic that's called Introduction. Create a new thread with your first name and give us a little introduction to yourself. I give you some guidelines on Sakai site on what you might do with that introduction. Perhaps you'll talk about something that sets you aside from your peers. Maybe you want to give very straight biographical information, where you're from, how many siblings you have. Maybe you have something in particular you'd like to say about your choice to take this public writing course. So that's something I'm asking you to do. There are other topics. I'm asking each person to make an effort at least one time this semester to go to Occupy Providence, to hang around, talk with some people, and in a very informal way, write up your thoughts. So, it's possible that some might choose Occupy Providence as a research site for their case study, but I want everyone to just get there once. I think that it's so apropos for this course and so close by and so important to take a look at. And it doesn't have to be that you agree with it or that you're overly excited by it. You just have to be an interested student of public writing at some point. Please feel free to form groups and go as a group. That's fine too. If you don't have a car, the city buses do run to and from the Kingston campus, so take a look at those schedules, which are accessible in the Memorial Union. And with this said about this expectation of you going to Occupy Providence at least once, you'll notice that in the syllabus I mentioned that a willingness to leave the Kingston campus is a requirement for getting an A in this course. It's very important that you understand that this is a 4-credit writing and rhetoric course, and unlike some institutions have 4-credit courses where students meet with their professors for 4 hours a week, and the work is, say, largely textual analysis in nature, and this is an appropriate way to handle the 4 credits. The University of Rhode Island writing and rhetoric courses that are 4 credits rely on the students doing a 4th credit hour's worth of field research. And so there's only so many interesting acts of public writing you're going to find on one itty-bitty little campus. The state of Rhode Island has some really interesting places for you to go to seek out these original research opportunities, even in informal ways. So please be ready and willing to take advantage of these opportunities and get out of your comfort zone in really productive ways this semester for public writing. So, for Wednesday's class, there will be the documentary film. On the forum, you'll see a topic devoted for your discussions of this documentary film. For Friday's class, I will be present, and it will be such a pleasure to meet each of you in person and to hear all of your in-person questions that you might have. In the meantime, please log on to the Sakai site, download the syllabus, give it a read-through, go on assignments, look through the Project 1 assignment, look through the homework assignment for Friday, get over to the Union and get that book, and you will have a really great start to the semester for public writing. For the rest of class today, and there should be a good amount of time left, what I'm asking you to do is to do some in-class writing. So Jen is going to pass around this prompt for you. You can opt to either write it out, pen and paper. If you have a laptop or a tablet with you, you can type it and send it to me on the Sakai site or on email. And if you do not type it, you can either opt to take it with you and type it at home and send it to me, or you can hand it to Jen and she will put it into my mailbox or when I get back. In any case, you will get class participation points for this, and it will also be my way of getting to know your writing style a bit. So, please complete that prompt. When you are finished, you are free to go. Make sure that you've signed the attendance sheet that Jen will send around, or may have already sent around. And I realize that there is roster flux over the first couple of days of classes. Do not panic, therefore, if your name does not appear on the paper roster that Jen is handing around. And be assured that you are enrolled in the course if you are already able to get on the Sakai site. If you have enrolled in the course, say, 5 minutes before you came today, then it's possible that Sakai did not update and add you yet. So don't panic. If you don't see your name, if you see your name, sign your name next to it. If you don't see your name, please flip the paper over, write your name, and afterwards sign your signature. So this verifies, if you see your name, you sign your signature. If you don't see your name, flip it over, print your name and sign your signature. This verifies for me that you were present on this first day. Joanna Portman Daly will have a similar sheet ready to go for Wednesday's class so that you get credit for attendance, right? And so take a look at the attendance policy as well. That's very important. The Writing and Rhetoric Department has a policy for attendance, and so you should familiarize yourself with that. Also, we as a group will arrange a visit over to the production lab, but perhaps during these first couple of days of classes when it perhaps is not very crowded, if you haven't been there yet, go take a look. That is your lab fees at work. In that production lab, as we'll talk about, there are a number of things that you can check out to enhance your the production of your various projects. So, for example, there are laptop computers, audio recorders, iPads. In the lab itself, there are a number of sophisticated software programs that are not on your average PC that you might wish to take a look at to learn how to use. The lab monitors are fantastic. We happen to have one in our class with us, and Joanna Portman Daly is great. And so there's a lot of support within the production lab to get really quality work done. I am a resource for you as well. I'm very excited about the semester. I am very sorry I am not here today on this first day. I wish you lots of luck with your other courses and the start of those, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you on Sakai or on email at any point. I get my URI email right on my phone, and I tend to write back very quickly. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you all on Friday. So with that, I will sign off with best wishes to all of you for completing those assignments that are due to me on the forum and under assignments for Friday's class where I will see you. Okay, everyone, take care.